Welcome to our video on interviews, and this tutorial is meant for students who are preparing for their interviews and any kind of interview. So the questions that we would be discussing in these videos would be relevant or are relevant to any kind of interviews. It could be a job interview, a campus interview placement, it could be an MBA interview, and these there are questions that these questions are commonly asked in almost any interview, right? So let's begin with one of the most common questions, and that is, tell me something about yourself. This is the formal way of starting an interview, and doesn't matter at what age you are, at what stage you are. This is one of the most formal and common questions in an interview. Now, the first thing that comes to our mind is what kind of pointers should we have in an answer that asks us in a question that asks us, tell me something about yourself. Well, here are some of the most important points that we must keep in mind about interviews. Now, the first point says, always mention something that sets you apart from the crowd. Now, please understand that this question is posed to almost every individual who is coming for the interview. So you must separate yourself apart from the rest, and you have to ensure that your answers consist of something that sets you apart from the crowd. It could be anything, right, from something outstanding to something weird about you. Right? So here is the next pointer. It says this question allows you to make the interviewer curious about yourself. Now, please understand that. See, when the moment you get the question on, tell me something about yourself, you have a chance to basically make the interviewer feel that you are an interesting person, and thus make him curious about your own self. And some of the most commonplace answer which I have seen is that people usually begin with saying, "My name is so and so. I am from so and so place. I did my schooling from so and so college. I want to do this. My family comprise of these people, and so on and so forth." Right? So these are some of the generic things that they would anyways have known about you from your CV or from your application form. Right? But there are things which I think you can mention about yourself apart from the ones that I have tick marked here. For example, something about your hobby and pastimes. For example, it's quite possible that many of us have some unique, interesting facts about ourselves. For example, if some of you might be very much interested in reading books or writing poetry or singing or dancing, some of the quite uncommon things. So in an interview, when they ask you, tell me something about yourself, apart from giving information about these things, about your name and the place you come from, about your college and the academic qualifications, you'd always speak about something that is unique about you. Now, it says here that if you speak about your hobbies and interests, it is one way of making the panelists very curious about you. Then also you can speak about the most inspiring or biggest moment of your life, your personal qualities such as sense of humor, social skills, attitudes, etc., about something unique about your background. So these are some of the extra things that you might add apart from your name and the place that you come from and other things that you have done to make yourself interesting, right? And finally, we know that we all are unique. Tell me something about yourself is the question, and is the right question, perhaps the only question in which you can conspicuously bring out the uniqueness before your interviewers. So please understand that when a question like tell me something about yourself is asked to you, you have to keep in mind some of the formal answers which I have mentioned here. My name, I am from this and this place, I did so and so. But apart from these, you have to try your best to show that you are a unique candidate, and that is only possible if you bring out some of the hidden aspects of your personality, and you must work on it. For example, some of you might have the hobby of hiking or going for long journey long travels, and some of you might have played cricket at the state level or the district level. Some of you might have done some extraordinary things in your life. So basically, when the question says tell me something about yourself, there is no defined answer to it, that this is what you must include and this is what you must exclude. You can include almost anything and everything unique about you. The only point is that the points that you include about yourself should be such that those answers, those points should make you a very, very interesting person to the panelists, and that is when they become curious about you. So in any kind of selection, It is how different you are from the rest that matters. And that's why you must carefully work on your answer. Tell me something about yourself. You must carefully frame your answers. You must also focus on your strengths and weaknesses, something that is really extraordinary about you, and accordingly include those points. Your answer should not be more than 50 seconds, in the sense that the moment you reach 40 seconds, 50 seconds, you should try to wrap up your answer. So it shouldn't happen that you keep on speaking about yourself and it is going nowhere. And by the time you end the answer, you should say that, fine, this is all about myself, so would you like to know more about me? And then if they say yes, you can go ahead, or you can put an end to your answer within 50 seconds. So you must try to frame an answer which you can convey to the panelists within 50 seconds or less than 50 seconds. And that should include, of course, your formal information, the formal introduction about yourself, and also something unique about you. And that would, I would say, is a very, very good answer.